When you think of a motorcycle that combines timeless styling with modern practicality, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 almost always comes to mind, and for 2025 the bike continues to hold its ground as a dependable cruiser that caters both to new riders and those who have been riding for decades. Welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, and today we're diving deep into a machine that carries Royal Enfield's long legacy while adapting to the expectations of today's motorcycle market. This is not just a quick first impression, but a full review that looks at every angle of the Meteor 350, its design, the details and the build, the engine and riding performance, and of course whether the asking price makes sense for what you get. Approaching the bike from the front, the Meteor has that signature Royal Enfield stance which immediately signals classic cruiser DNA. The round halogen headlamp, framed by chrome surrounds and paired with LED DRLs in the higher trims, creates a mix of old and new. The wide handlebars sweep outward slightly, giving it that easy-going cruiser attitude before you even sit on it. The front fender hugs the wheel tightly, with its metal construction reminding you that this bike values durability. The telescopic front forks are finished neatly, and the alloy wheels with tubeless tires provide confidence for everyday use. It's a look that balances nostalgia with functionality, where the first glance already tells you this is not about aggressive sport riding but about relaxed, confident cruising. Walking to the side of the Meteor, you start to see the real shape of the motorcycle take form. The teardrop fuel tank, highlighted with pinstriped paint and Royal Enfield's embossed badge, remains one of the most recognizable features in this category. It has enough volume for long rides without looking oversized, and the sculpted knee recesses ensure comfort and control. The stepped seat creates a flowing silhouette and gives the rider a low, commanding position while also offering the pillion a slightly raised perch for better visibility and comfort. The long wheelbase stretches the bike into a proper cruiser profile, giving it road presence beyond what its 350cc displacement might suggest. The chrome exhaust runs low and long along the right side, complementing the tank's shine and contributing to the laid-back aesthetic. Little details like the side covers, finished with subtle badges, and the well-integrated foot pegs reinforce that this is a bike built with attention to design. From the back, the Meteor 350 keeps things minimal yet effective. The rear fender arcs smoothly, ending with a simple round tail light that echoes the front headlamp design. Turn indicators sit slightly apart for visibility, and the grab rail provides security for the passenger without looking bulky. The tail section, while traditional, is not outdated. Its proportions feel balanced, and the LED lighting on higher trims ensures it doesn't lag behind more modern rivals. With the rear wheel exposed just enough, the stance feels planted and grounded, completing the cruiser look that Royal Enfield clearly aims for. Of course, design can draw you in, but the real question is how the bike feels on the road, and that begins with its engine. The Meteor 350 is powered by Royal Enfield's modern 349cc, single-cylinder, air-oil-cooled engine that produces around 20.2 horsepower and 27 Nm of torque. These figures may not sound extraordinary on paper, especially if you're used to bigger cruisers, but they deliver exactly the kind of power band you'd expect for city commuting and comfortable highway cruising. The long-stroke nature of the motor gives it that classic thump, though smoother and more refined than the older 350s. Fuel injection ensures reliability, smooth throttle response, and better efficiency. The 5-speed gearbox shifts cleanly, with well-spaced ratios that keep the bike in its comfort zone whether you're rolling at 40 km/h through traffic or cruising steadily at 90 on the open road. On the performance side, the Meteor is all about easy riding. Its low seat height, at around 765 mm, means riders of various heights can flat-foot with confidence. The bike curb weight of around 191 kg gives it stability without feeling unmanageable, and the center of gravity is low enough to make maneuvering in tight city spaces relatively stress-free. On open roads, the Meteor is happiest at moderate cruising speeds, where the engine hums along without strain and vibrations are kept in check by the balance shaft system. Ride quality is one of its biggest strengths, thanks to the telescopic front forks and twin rear shocks that are adjustable for preload. The suspension is tuned more for comfort than aggression, soaking up potholes and undulations gracefully. Braking is handled by a disc setup on both ends with dual-channel ABS, providing predictable and confidence-inspiring stops. It's not razor-sharp, but it matches the calm nature of the bike perfectly. Fuel economy is another strong point. Many riders report figures ranging between 30 to 35 kilometers per liter depending on riding style and conditions, making the Meteor not just a stylish cruiser but also a practical choice for daily use. Combined with the 15-liter tank, it offers decent range for longer weekend rides without constantly searching for fuel stops. When it comes to features, Royal Enfield has equipped the Meteor with the Tripper navigation pod on most rims, which is a small, separate display powered by Google Maps integration. This gives you turn-by-turn directions once paired with your phone, and while it doesn't overwhelm you with tech like TFT displays, it is practical and stays true to the brand's minimalist philosophy. Switchgear quality feels robust. The instrument cluster combines an analog speedometer with a digital display for essentials like fuel level and gear position, and overall the ergonomics encourage relaxed, upright riding that reduces fatigue on longer journeys. Now, the price is often where many potential buyers pause, and for 2025 the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 continues to represent one of the most value-driven cruisers on the market. Depending on the variant of Fireball, Stellar, or Supernova, the prices vary slightly, but in most markets the Meteor remains comfortably under the cost of imported mid-sized cruisers, offering a blend of classic looks, modern reliability, and affordability that's hard to rival. It is accessible for first-time buyers, yet refined enough to be a satisfying second or third bike for seasoned riders who want something easygoing for city commutes or casual weekend rides. After spending time around the Meteor 350, it becomes clear that this motorcycle is less about chasing high performance and more about delivering an enjoyable, dependable riding experience wrapped in timeless styling. It's a motorcycle you can look at in your garage and feel proud of. A motorcycle that doesn't intimidate but instead invites you to hop on and ride without overthinking. It embodies the Royal Enfield philosophy of making motorcycles that are approachable, durable, and deeply connected to the heritage of simple, enjoyable riding. So, if you're considering a cruiser in 2025 that combines comfort, decent performance, and unmistakable character without breaking the bank, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 deserves to be on your short list. It's not a bike built to impress with speed figures or cutting-edge technology, but rather a machine designed to make you enjoy the journey itself. That is its true strength, and that's why it continues to be a global favorite. Thanks for tuning into Global Bike Buzz for this in-depth look at the 2025 Royal Enfield Meteor 350. If you enjoyed this